Hey there, Jake Schrantz with you for our Sports Ticker, brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Huskers soccer athlete Sadie Waite was selected for the Canadian U20 national team for the upcoming 2024 World Cup in Colombia. Canada opens their tournament play on Saturday, August 31st, as they will take on France, Brazil, and Fiji in Group B. Waite played nearly 2,000 minutes last season for the Huskers and started all 24 matches. The Nebraska volleyball team was just announced as the number 2 team in the country. As part of the AVCA rankings, they only trail the Texas Longhorns and are followed up by Wisconsin as the 3rd-ranked team. There are 7 Big Ten teams listed in the preseason top 25. 5 more Husker volleyball matches have been selected for TV broadcasts as well. The newly announced games will now be on television, and you can find them at huskers.com. Nebraska women's basketball season tickets are now available. Fans can purchase season ticket packages through the Nebraska Athletic Ticket Office or by visiting huskers.com/tickets. Reserved season tickets are on sale for $198, while adult general admission season tickets are just $108. Alexis Markowski, Natalie Potts, and the rest of the crew will look to build off the success from 2024, where the Big Red went for 23 wins, including the upset over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Now it's time for Hour 1 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Back to throw, play action look. Heiberg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Back to throw, throws downfield, taking a deep shot down the field, and the ball's intercepted. Picked off by Tommy Hill. Has an INT. He's at the 15 to the 20. Breaks a tackle, skirts to the outside. 25, makes another man miss. Slides his way to the 28-yard line. Tommy Hill's second pick in as many weeks. Shot blocked back and covered. Above that shot, Merritt Beeson kill. Wow. Couple of Huskers had to punch it off the net, and Beeson swings away. They love it in Lincoln. It's 29-10. Heinrich going to step back. Little G belly action. There's a man wide open. It's Jalen Lloyd. The throw, he makes a catch. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Sullivan gets the chest high snap. Stepping up, being pressured, gets hit, and goes down. Huskers get their first sack of the game. Northwestern has given up the most sacks of any team in the conference. The Huskers get one there from Nash.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Matt Coatney on the Huskers Radio Network.
And a very pleasant Monday evening to you, everybody. I'm Matt Coatney, and I'm delighted to be with you yet again tonight. I'm sitting in for Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe will be with us for most of the show. I think Greg will be with us near the bottom of the hour, and we will be here for you for the full 2 hours as we ramp up to Husker football. We're only 11 days away, everybody. 11 days. I cannot believe it. There's a palpable sense out in the community. You can tell Husker fans are ready to go. They ask me about it all the time. And this weekend, I really kind of got the sense that, they've got this week 0 thing in college football, which I used to not really like talking about week 0. I'm like, why can't that be week 1? But I kind of like it now because there's just enough action on this weekend to kind of wet your whistle. But boy, am I ready for Husker football. And we'll take your text tonight at 402-413-2400. Big show for you tonight. We have a lot coming up for you. Coming up in our second segment, the Huskers practiced Saturday, and Matt Rhule met with the media after that scrimmage and had a lot to say, and we'll break down a lot of his comments from that practice. Just wrapping up now, or maybe just about to wrap up, John Cook had a press conference, and we're going to have some audio from what he had to say early in our second hour of Sports Nightly tonight. And then also in hour number 2, junior wide receiver Akrs Bullock sat down with Jessica Coody earlier, and we will have a chance to talk to him, and a lot that you can imagine with him, with his brother playing on defense, and the big year that he had last year. So it's going to be pretty full show here tonight. Camden is here. Jake is here. He did a great job on our ticker. And again, our text line is 402-413-2400. We'll get to Matt Rhule's audio in, I think, our second segment here tonight. And hopefully Greg will be back with us by then. Boy, tough news coming out of the scrimmage on Saturday when Matt Rhule announced that Javin Wright is out indefinitely with a health condition. That young man has battled injuries and some medical setbacks throughout his time here at Nebraska. He had surgery that was related to blood clots back in 2021, and hopefully he'll be back on the field. They've not, they're kind of quiet about it, and there's no reason to be too specific on it. But, I don't know why he is out now. He's out indefinitely. Hopefully he has a chance to come back. But that gives an opportunity for some others to step up at that inside linebacker position. Obviously, John Bullock, who I mentioned just a moment ago, is the other projected starter at inside linebacker. I think we're going to see a lot of Mekhi Bayer, who played at both the jack and the inside linebacker position last year, and Matt Rhule has said he knows he can play, so he'll be in there. Stephon Thompson, the transfer from Syracuse, who's played in under Tony White in this defense. It's good that you can have somebody who can step in who knows this defense. Very intrigued by the true freshman, Vincent Shavers. We'll see what he can do with that. But I'll tell you somebody that really we've not talked a lot about, or at least I haven't heard a lot of talk about, is the transfer from Montana and the former North Platte High Bulldog, Vincent Genatone. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get on more snaps with Javin Wright being out. I know that the previous coaching regime, Scott Frost, they were very high on Genatone, but he ended up starting at Montana, played for a couple of years there before he went in the transfer portal. You have to think against UTEP being the first game of the year, a team Nebraska is going to be favored against, it being a middle-of-the-day game, still kind of at the end of the summer, that you'd see a lot of numbers in that game. So probably you would have seen all of these people anyway in that position. But right now I think it's prime time for some people to earn a little bit more playing time, and then hopefully Javin Wright can get back on the field at some point. We don't know the extent of his health condition, but we wish him all the best. Practice tomorrow, and then the coach will meet with the media, and practice should end between 11 and 11:30 tomorrow, so we should have a pretty good chance at a practice report tomorrow. One of the things that Jake alluded to during the ticker, I want to talk a little bit about, if you missed it, is the preseason, the main volleyball poll came out. The AVCA, American Volleyball Coaches Association poll, came out today. Defending national champion Texas was 1, Nebraska 2. If you take a look on there, they're the usual suspects there. Wisconsin 3, Pittsburgh 4, Stanford 5. Pretty high praise for Creighton's program. Their preseason pick 12th. And there were 7 big teams, as Jake told you, that were in the preseason poll, including number 7 Penn State, number 8 Purdue, 10th Oregon, 18 Minnesota, 21 USC. And if that's not enough, Ohio State and UCLA also got votes. So this Big Ten volleyball race is just insane to see just how much there is there. And John Cook met with the media just a few moments ago, and we'll have quotes from Coach Cook and hear audio from him early in hour number 2. Boy, I love this. There's there's stuff to talk about right now. And I think for football, I think we've reached the point where they're ready to hit somebody in a different jersey. Summer camp is winding down. They've had the scrimmages. They've had the drills. They've done all the talking. Big Ten has been here. There's just so much talking you can do. And my sense is this team is ready to play somebody else. And that somebody else is 11 days away with UTEP. I know the fans are hungry to have a starter named at quarterback, and Matt Rhule, and he'll talk about this when we hear some of his audio. In our second segment, there's no need really for Matt Rhule to name a starter really at any position, because it's more for the fans than anything. Is anybody really out there going to be surprised if Dylan Raiola is named the starter at quarterback? It's one of those things where I am ready to get to the point where we're talking about football on the field and not depth charts and not culture and not who looked good in this scrimmage or this drill. But this is really what happens this middle part of August when the students start moving into the dorms and you start talking about week 0. It's so close that you just want to get out there and start playing the games, and then you kind of forget. Once these games start, you don't remember any of the preseason talk, or at least I don't. I think that you get into the season and you're deep into it, and then all the conjecture and everything kind of goes out the window once you see the team on the field. And I think once we see this team against UTEP, the conversation shifts, and we'll be talking about people that we haven't heard an awful lot about. I hope we're talking about Dante Dowdell after game 1 against UTEP. I hope that we're talking about Turner Corcoran doing a great job at left tackle. I hope we're talking about what a great job Mekhi Bayer did filling in for Javin Wright. I hope those are the kinds of things that the conversation turns into here pretty soon. All right, I was in here on Thursday night, the night that the first official Husker athletic event of the season started, in the middle of this show. And Husker soccer lost to Oklahoma State, and then they played again on Sunday. 6th-ranked Nebraska at Hibner Stadium defeated Colorado State 3-2. And if you missed it, what a day for senior forward Sarah Weber. She had a hat trick, her first hat trick in her career. 3 goals, so Nebraska evens up their record. 6th-ranked Nebraska is now 1 up and 1 down, and they've got 24th-ranked Duke coming up this Thursday this week at 7:05 p.m. at Hibner Stadium, right up the street from us. So get on out there. Good chance to see that. And then this weekend, obviously, is fan day for football. The volleyball red-white scrimmage is Saturday at 6 p.m. They're leading up to Tuesday night, 6 p.m. opening season match with 9th-ranked Kentucky in that showcase. And so a lot's going to start happening really, really quickly in Husker Nation in terms of events, and a lot of the talking will kind of go by the wayside. Also this weekend, I thought this was great. 11 current or former Husker athletes earned degrees at summer commencement on Saturday. And shout out to Niles Paul, native of Omaha, who played 6 years in the NFL with Washington, earned his degree. What a great story that was. And then Teddy Prohaska, who, my goodness, it's terrible that he is injured and is going to lose another season, but he earned his degree on Saturday, so congratulations to Teddy. And former men's basketball star Trey McGowan's also earned his degree among the 11. There were others, but those are the ones that kind of wanted to talk about. One of the things that Jake kind of referred to, women's basketball season tickets are now available, and so they announced men's season tickets were available for a limited number of the 300 level seats starting last Friday. I obviously am a little biased here as the voice of the team, but I really would like to see you get season tickets for this Nebraska women's program. It's a very attractive home schedule, and I think this Husker team has a chance to do some really special things. Coming off an NCAA tournament win, Alexis Markowski is back, Allison Widener is back, and we what a breakout season for Natalie Potts as the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And then everybody here locally in Nebraska followed the great career of Britt Prince and her 4 state titles. They're all going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a front row seat for it, and you can too. Go on to Huskers.com, get your tickets there. So that is some of what we're going to talk about tonight. Coming up in our second segment, we're going to go through a lot of quotes that Matt Rhule had after Saturday's scrimmage. I get the sense from Coach Rhule that he really likes his team. And the way he says things, like, for example, he said, I told them I feel like they're really close to being a good team, but they're not there yet. When I hear that, have you ever heard a coach in the middle of August to say, yeah, I don't even know why we're still practicing. We're as good as we can get. Let's just go out and play. You're never going to hear that. So for a coach to say, I feel like they're really close to being a good team, that I would think that's about as high a praise as you can get from a coach at this time of the year. And we'll hear some more of what Matt Rhule has to say there. 402-413-2400. That's our text line. If you would like a comment or a question, we can do that. So we'll have Matt Rhule and his audio coming up here in a few moments. Then at the top of the next hour, I assume we're going to have audio from John Cook's press conference. I have great faith in our production crew in pulling that one off for us. And then Jessica Coody had a great interview with Alex Bullock that we'll hear in the middle of hour number 2. Let me see here. Mike on our text line says, Matt, can we get a you betcha when going into break or something? Okay, when I throw it to the break, just for you, Mike, I'll do that. And then also on our text line, can't do the show, I don't think, if Art in Los Angeles doesn't pop in on our text line. He says, thank you again for hosting Sports Nightly. It makes my day. My comment is, like John Cook always says, winning the Big Ten is harder than winning the national championship. This is how great the Big Ten is in volleyball. Yeah, and when we get to women's basketball season, I'm going to say the same thing, because as I said the other night, if UCLA were the only Big Ten team to join the league this year, or the only West Coast team, they would be favored, I think, to win women's basketball. And I don't think they're the best team in Los Angeles in the Big Ten. I think USC's going to be preseason number 1 in the country, and the Huskers are going to have that. All right, that's what we have coming up. Greg Sharpe will join us here in hour number 2 also. So stay right there. Matt Coatney filling in for Jess Coody tonight on Sports Nightly, and we'll be back in a few moments. And just for Mike, you betcha. Stay right there.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out, because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TL Irrigation are like no other.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Shop our exceptional lineup of SUVs at Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda Find Out event. Right now, receive 0% APR for 36 months on our full lineup of 2024 models. Visit us online at woodhousemazda.com or woodhouseplacemazda.com today. Serving our customers for over 20 years. This is Woodhouse Mazda. With approved credit, tax title license extra when financed with Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Excludes MX-5 and MX-R models. Offer expires August 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
It's a Monday. We're 11 days away from Husker football season opening. Matt Coatney sitting in for Jessica Coody tonight. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Matt Coatney sitting in and delighted to bring in the voice of the Huskers and the regular host of this show, Greg Sharpe. Greg, how you doing tonight?
Coach, I'm great. Thanks for jumping in. I know Jess wasn't feeling real well this afternoon. You got the late call. I've been up in Omaha during the day, and I didn't know how long it would take me to get out of rush hour traffic up there, so I knew I'd be a few minutes late. But good to have you with us tonight. You okay to be here till 8?
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? That's like a short night. I mean, you know, we were kind of talking about that Colorado football game, and the one thing I usually do this time of year is I start staying up later and later trying to prepare for some of those late Big Red reaction shows.
Well, and how about the news today that NBC has come to terms with Colt McCoy? He's going to be an analyst for them, and his first game for NBC is going to be that Nebraska-Colorado game here in Lincoln. I don't know how warm a reception Colt McCoy will get in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I wonder how many signs will be in the student section with people holding up .01 or if there's a clock issue, it'll be interesting to see how Colt McCoy handles that on NBC during that Colorado game, don't you think?
Wouldn't that be something if there was something like that? Well, did we only have, one more free weekend, and this weekend there's a lot going on with the red-white scrimmage and fan days and all that. Did you have a good weekend at least before we get into this thing here in 2 weeks?
I did. I had what I would normally or call a normal weekend, which, we don't have normal weekends basically from now until June. but it went pretty quickly. But, Greg, so many fans have been coming up to me, and they all ask me, all right, how many wins do you think we're going to get? And they're all very excited. I feel a real palpable sense, and I think Matt Rhule's had a big part of that because some of his quotes have been pretty cautiously optimistic about this team.
They have.
And I think fans are kind of reflecting the mood of the coach here. It's pretty interesting. I heard a lot of that this weekend.
Well, I think it's a combination of, one, they liked what they saw last year. And I know we didn't get to a bowl game, but you saw improvement with the program. You like what you see from the schedule, and you got an exciting young quarterback in Dylan Rhule that everybody gets excited about. So, I think all that combination, you mix it in a bowl and stir it up, and you're going, I'm kind of ready to get this thing going here on the 31st.
Yeah, I'm really ready to. I mean, we're 11 days. I mean, we're under 400 hours. And you know what I'm going to have to do this weekend? I'm going to have to really dig into my game prep. I know we all prepare a little bit differently here, but I always think to myself, do I really do this every week during the football season? And then when we get into it, I just love it. I have to kind of retrain myself, but we're close. I'm ready to get it going.
I heard you talk about week 0 games. Oscars have played in 2 of those in the last 5 years. They had the one in Ireland, obviously, and there's that one this week with Florida State and Boston College playing in that game. I think it's Boston College.
Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Is it Boston College or Georgia Tech?
I think it's Georgia Tech, yeah.
It's Georgia Tech, okay.
Yeah.
And then the Oscars played week 0 at Illinois a couple years ago. So they've been in 2 week 0 games. I'm okay with pumping the brakes and going a normal Labor Day weekend, particularly since it's at home. We haven't had one of those since 2019, so I'm ready for all of that to happen. So good stuff. Good segue, because we need to get into a practice report from Matt Rhule's comments after the second full-blown scrimmage the Big Red had on Saturday. So let's line it up. Here is tonight's practice report.
It's time for the Nebraska football practice report.
Getting out of boot camp and getting to football is probably exciting for them, but also relief because I know a lot of these guys, the guys that came back because they want to get to the season.
Quarterback and that, and obviously Coach Rhule was asked about that after Saturday's scrimmage, and he said, we'll probably name a starting quarterback this week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. And then he got asked, is it evident? Is it evident who it is right now? Here's Matt's response.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think we feel really confident in all the guys. So, yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's a really good question, Sam. I think the thing that we have is we have 3 guys that we feel like can lead us to win. And so from that part, it's hard. But can someone be more advanced at this point than someone else? Yes. The difficult part in it is that you have one guy who's played and you've seen him play and you know how hard it is to play, and you've seen two guys who haven't played yet in college. So that's maybe the unknown factor here. But all 3 guys have worked really hard, done a good job, and I'm sure they'll all continue to improve.
So he kind of talked around that issue a little bit, whether it's really standing out to him who is the guy moving forward. Now, he did get asked, Coach, and this was an interesting answer from Matt Rhule, about Danny Kaelin, because all the oxygen in the room goes toward Dylan, and then Heinrich has been a starter last year. But listen to Coach talk about the young freshman quarterback from Bell West.
As a quarterback, he's got it. He's got, quote-unquote, it. He's got the it factor. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There'll be a day you'll look up, I bet you, those 2 freshmen are both playing in the National Football League. They're both pro players. I think you heard that when the Big Ten Network came here, they said it's as strong a quarterback room as they've seen, top all 3 guys. So, you have 2 freshmen that, to me, the sky's the limit. And so I think with Danny, though, he has it. He has swagger. He has juice. He gets up and sings in front of the team, and pretty soon, he's got the entire team. He sings a cappella. He's got the whole team singing with him, and he's just one of those guys. And you see it when he does interviews, man. He lights up the room and lights everything up. The thing is that sometimes everyone will want to look at their Dylan and Danny's journeys linked, but they're not. They're each on their own journey. And I think the thing with Danny is he's got great awareness, great perception. He can see things. He can anticipate things. He's got accuracy. He's got great feet. He's dynamic with his feet. As his body matures and as he gets bigger and stronger and his arm grows along with that, his brain works so fast that he'll be a lot of fun. So I think the sky's the limit for Danny.
You talk about high praise for Danny Kaelin. I mean, he's got it. And I think that's obviously a quote that you can use for a long time. You know, the thing I think about this, Greg, is if Rhule wasn't here, if he didn't commit to Nebraska, how excited would everybody be with Danny Kaelin potentially being the starter here? Would he be evidently the starter if Rhule wasn't here? I think that would be an interesting question. And I think more than anything, what you sense from Matt Rhule there is that, and a little bit is that despite flying under the radar a little bit, for him to say Danny Kaelin has got it, I think he feels pretty good that, you know, he's got a lot of choices he can make here. This is probably as good a situation Nebraska's had heading into the season on paper in a long time. But that's some pretty high praise for a guy who likely is not going to be the starting quarterback here.
And probably, we don't know, but probably headed for a red shirt. I mean, you'd like to get him in a couple of games, but save him with that 4-game rule and separate a year between him and Dylan moving forward. But, yeah, that was as much. It was a powerful answer by Coach Rhule about Danny Kaelin. And also, I know Coach Rhule likes to kind of talk to his team and players through the media. Yeah. This was, I think, a way to pump Danny up a little bit about, hey, you're doing great. You may not be the guy when we announce it here in a couple of days, but you're doing great. You have a bright future. So I loved hearing that from Coach Rhule. And you talked about it the other night when you were hosting that the BTN guys thought the quarterback room in Nebraska was maybe as in good a shape as anybody in the conference with the 3 that we have. And so this kind of backs up what BTN was saying last week when they were here on their campus tour.
Well, you look at what other schools are doing right now. When Wisconsin just named Tyler Van Dyke, the transfer from Miami, in there. So many schools now are going with a transfer quarterback. And, you know, you look at Will Howard is probably going to be the starter at Ohio State. So everybody has that clear number one. But I don't know. Nebraska's kind of a unicorn in my thought that they really have 3 guys who they think can play and win with, more importantly, and 2 of them have never seen the field in a college football game. That's pretty optimistic, but pretty high praise there from Matt Rhule.
Sure is. All right, the left tackle spot took a blow a couple weeks ago when Teddy Prohaska was out for the season with the injury. Feel terrible for him. Congratulations, by the way, to Teddy. He got his diploma Saturday, so congratulations. He was one of 11 Husker athletes to get their diploma on Saturday in the August graduation. So Turner Corcoran working himself back from an off-season surgery that cost him the end of last year. Here's Coach Rhule talking about that left tackle spot and some progress that he has seen that has been made in recent weeks.
I think we have pretty good rushers. You know, you go out there every day and you're facing Jamari and James Williams and Cam Lenhart and Prince Will. I mean, Prince Will's really come on as a pass rusher even more than he was before. So, you know, you're getting an honest day's work out there. So I have a lot of confidence. I feel like the pass protection and the O-line as a whole has improved more this week and a half than anything else. I think that, you know, we've been running the ball well. I think Donnie really went in there and just had them make a jump this past week and a half.
Well, I'm glad he addressed where the offensive line is. I brought this up Thursday night when I was hosting the show. Greg, I really think among the most important people on Nebraska's team right now is Turner Corcoran, because he's got to protect whoever the quarterback is, got to protect their blind side. And, you know, we felt so good with Teddy and Turner being over there for Matt Rhule to give, and I'm going to go back to it, for him to start giving praise to his team at this point. There's not a lot of coaches who are heaping praise on their team. I think you nailed it. He sends a lot of messages to his team through his quotes, and I think he wouldn't say those things if he didn't mean it, and maybe sending a message to his offensive line. But, you know, they got some depth there this year. It's young depth. But I think that Nebraska's in as good a shape with their offensive line as we've seen since pre-pandemic, definitely. So I'm pretty happy to hear how Matt Rhule kind of feels about the line.
That left tackle spot, certainly something to keep an eye on as we get into the season. So's the kicking game, particularly the place kicking with Tristan Albano held out of the first week of camp. He's now back. But it sounds like it's a battle now to who's the number one kicker. Is John Rhule, the young man from Lincoln Southwest that the Huskers kind of found out about and brought him onto the roster in June. Here's the coach talking about the kicking game from Saturday's scrimmage.
Yeah, I think Rhule's really coming on well. And to be quite honest, today was not a big special teams day. Today was like we kicked field goals in rhythm. So meaning like, you know, if it was a field goal attempt in a game, we would have gone a field goal attempt. So we kicked a few of those. I think John Rhule did most of the kicking today and did a nice job. He's just going to need to get out there and get comfortable. Tristan has his days. We're still working Tristan back. So, if he's not ready to go, John and Nico will battle it out for that job. And Buschini, I think, has been really strong. He's been really strong. So, Brian's got all the talent in the world. Brian's got, he literally is a special punter. And not many people, it's hard to punt here, with the wind and all that, and he can do it all. He's got every kick. For him, it's just, a measure of consistency. It's just a measure of consistency. And I think he's had a good camp. And then Camden, Kentucky, we have a new snapper, right? That can sometimes scare you, but I wouldn't have even told you we have a new snapper because Cam does such a great job.
Well, I know this.
You saw
the special teams. We hope that we're not talking about them too much after the UTEP game, that they do their job, and we're not saying they cost the Huskers a game right there. And I think right now they're kind of out of sight, out of mind until we see, who's going to be the kicker.
You sat there week after week last year. How many games came down to 3 or 4 points? And a made kick or a missed kick was the difference in a lot of games. It's a huge part of it, and I think we anticipate a lot of close games again this fall. So whether it's Tristan or John Rhule or Nico Ottamanelli, if it's whoever wins that job, there's going to be pressure because you're probably going to have to make a kick to either win it or extend your lead late in games.
And it probably starts that week 2 game against Colorado. You hope you don't have to have special teams win the game against UTEP, but you hope that they get some confidence in that week 1 game. And then, as we go along with the season, road games are a completely different animal. But, special teams it'll be interesting to hear what Ed Foley has to say about some of that. I think he's going to speak to the media tomorrow.
Yeah, he is. We'll have a full recap for you tomorrow night from Coach Foley. All right, we're going to finish with this. Coach was asked about, we know Tommy Hill's going to be one of the starting corners. How about the other side? Who is kind of in the mix to be the starter opposite Tommy in the defensive backfield?
Yeah, Buford's just a baller. He's a football player. He can play safety. He can play corner. He has ball skills. He can intercept the football. Like if you want to take the ball away, you have to put guys out there who can take the ball away. And Keese is definitely one of those guys. So, I think he's played a lot of corner this camp. He's played some safety, and he gives us the flexibility.
Well, we didn't get all of that there, but, the thing I think about in the secondary, Greg, is there's a lot of depth. I hope people step up. Like I've seen sometimes through the years that when you have a lot of numbers, that can be good if there are clear roles defined that, here's my 1, and here are my 2s. But if no one is taking it away and there's rotation there, that could be problematic. It'll be interesting to see what the rotations are by week 3 here and see who really steps up. But I just think what we heard there in that short clip from Matt Rhule was who can take the ball away. And in addition to special teams being important, Nebraska can chop into that negative 31 turnover margin this year by taking the ball away. Not just not turning it over, but taking the ball away from the other team. And I think that starts with the secondary.
He went on to say in that clip, he said, if I look out there and I see Tommy Hill and Marquise Buford, Isaac Gifford, if I look out there and see Deshaun Singleton, he goes, I feel pretty good. He goes, I sleep well at night if I see those 5 guys out of the field. So to me, that says, okay, those are my 1s. they'd love to have solid two so they can rotate guys because they love to play multiple people. And I love that about this staff. I love the fact that they don't make some of these guys play 70 snaps a game every week. Cut them back to 50. They're going to be fresher later in the year. So I think he's trying to figure out maybe who the twos are, but I think they've locked in pretty much on who the ones in that secondary are going to be for this team. All right, we need to take a break. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Love to get your thoughts about what Coach had to say after Saturday's big scrimmage. What concerns you? Are you concerned about that kicking game as we're now 11 days out from a kickoff for the Huskers and the Miners of UTEP? We'll get all that coming up next.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead, and I'm asking you to donate to the Team Jack Foundation to support childhood brain cancer research. Your contribution fuels the discovery of new treatments, enhancing children's lives, and improving survival rates. Childhood brain cancer is a serious issue in Nebraska, where we rank number 7th nationally in incident rates. Every dollar brings us closer to a cure and a brighter future for these brave kids. Make a difference today by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to donate. Go Big Red.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Joined by Matt Coatney tonight here on a Monday edition of the Sports Nightly. Next Monday night, we'll have the AD show. Troy Dannon will be here for his first show of the new school year. But this is the week we get it kicked in. Our first football show is Wednesday night. The head coach himself, Matt Rhule, will be here from 6 to 7. Our first volleyball show will then be from 6 to 7 on Thursday night. Those will be the normal nights for those two shows throughout the fall. We have to tweak it a little bit with some volleyball matches that they may be traveling on Thursday and can't do their show. And then obviously November becomes a bit of a free-for-all because then we roll the basketballs out and we barely get shows on, Coach, when you and KP start taking over the airways. But we love November. I'm not sure the guys in the control room share that love, but it's a fun month.
It is a sprint when we get to November. I love it. And I was just thinking today about how many times I've done a women's basketball game. I remember a few years ago, called a game at Pinnacle Bank Arena and then ran to Memorial Stadium from the Haymarket and then did the whole football broadcast. And that's fun. I mean, I don't know any sportscaster who wouldn't just think that is the greatest thing ever. And so all that stuff, I'm ready to do it.
By the way, I was driving back from Kansas City last Thursday at a speaking event down there, and so I listened to you. You really made the time fly by. I loved your interview with Tommy Armstrong and him talking about putting the spikes away and not playing any more indoor football, which he had a fabulous career indoor football, and he's going to be with you after the UTEP game for Big Red Reaction. But man, I love that conversation. That was so fun to listen to.
It was, and it's one of those that I knew in the middle of it that I didn't want to ruin it because it was going so well. And he was so eloquent about retiring. And, boy, how lucky are we having him along with Zach Potter and Josh Banderas as our co-host on Big Red Reaction. But thank you. I really liked that interview. And I could have went another hour with Tommy. I mean, he was so wonderful, and I'm glad you enjoyed that. It was one of those, I felt like a fan doing that interview, and I think those are the interviews you enjoy the best in this business.
That was fantastic. You're going into year 12 of hosting Big Red Reaction. I can't believe it. You told me that during the break, and I about fell off my chair. But I love the mix. You got Tommy, you have a quarterback. You have Josh, a linebacker. And then you have Zach Potter, who played defense here but played tight end in the NFL, so he can talk both sides of the ball. I love the variety that we can put out there after games throughout the fall. I think it's fabulous to have all three of those guys as part of our team.
I loved having the freshness of the shows last year because they all come at it a little differently, all experts, and all love talking to the fans. And I think the fans liked the different mix that we had. And, I'd worked with Bando for many years. He used to sub in many years ago. I thought Tommy and Zach came through the door ready to dance. I mean, they were ready to expound and give theories and all kinds of stuff here. So, Greg, you know me, I love hosting Big Red Reaction, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, and hopefully some more wins to talk about, too, after some of these games. Folks, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday life since 1975. Shop for the next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse. They are the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead, and I'm asking you to donate to the Team Jack Foundation to support childhood brain cancer research. Your contribution fuels the discovery of new treatments, enhancing children's lives and improving survival rates. Childhood brain cancer is a serious issue in Nebraska, where we rank number 7th nationally in incident rates. Every dollar brings us closer to a cure and a brighter future for these brave kids. Make a difference today by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to donate. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agent Sharon Lear in Papillion, Paul Hoos in Grand Island, or an Ord Sea agent Matt Woodward.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Support childhood brain cancer research by donating to the Team Jack Foundation. Your contribution funds life-saving research for new treatments and offers hope to children and families. Donate today at teamjackfoundation.org. Greg on our text line at 402-413-2400. Dennis says, running backs, how many games will it take to decide on the top three? I think we're close, don't you think?
I think they have a good idea. I think it's the Johnsons, Emmett and Ramir, and then I think it's Gabe Urban. I think those are your three going into the year. Dante Dowdell, the Oregon transfer, would be 4 right now. But, hey, we know injuries happen, particularly at that spot. It's such a physical position to play.
What about Ives?
Every time you touch the ball, you're going to get beat up on. So,
yeah, what do you think about Quentin Ives in that mix?
I think it's those three.
Yeah, I think so. And then another, and you know, this is where I start chastising people on Big Red Reaction, but give your name when you text. But somebody texted in and says, I thought for the number of injuries on the offensive side of the ball last year, the play was not bad. It was the turnovers that killed us. That's where I want to see improvement. Go Big Red. Yeah, I agree. And not only not turning over the ball, but turning the other team over, as well as our defense played last year, and they were a top 10 defense. I think this year, if they could get, one more turnover every 2 games statistically, I think that could make all the difference, and that helps flip that turnover margin a little bit.
31 turnovers last year by the offense, and then only 14 forced turnovers by the defense, which led to the minus 17 turnover margin. I've told people all offseason, it's remarkable to me that team won 5 games with that kind of a turnover margin. You cut that thing even in half and get it down to minus 7 or 8, and I know Matt Rhule won't be happy with that even, but if you do that, I think you're on the other side of that record at 7-5 instead of 5-7. Just flip that thing down a little bit there.
Yeah, turnovers are going to be a really big thing. One thing we do want to talk about that the students love, Boneyard Bash will be Saturday, 3:30 to 4:30 Central, Memorial Stadium. Hang out. If you're a student, you get free food, a T-shirt, you win prizes. Go through Gate 24 to get there. That's always going to be warm. Get some suntan lotion going there. Wear a hat. But, man, that's going to be fun. That's times like that, I wish I was still in my mid-20s and
no doubt.
Could go back to stuff like that.
Saturday's big day, fan days for both the volleyball team and the football team. Red White Scrimmage for volleyball and the Boneyard Bash for football. Man, what a fast hour. Coody made that go so fast. Come on back. We'll talk some volleyball in hour 2. Boom.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian Automotive Vehicles and Operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
Hey there, Jake Schrantz with you for our Sports Ticker, brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Husker soccer athlete Sadie Waite was selected for the Canadian U20 national team for the 2024 World Cup in Colombia. Canada opens their tournament play on Saturday, August 31st, as they'll take on France, Brazil, and Fiji in Group B. Waite played nearly 2,000 minutes last season for the Huskers and started all 24 matches. The Nebraska volleyball team was just announced as the number 2 team in the land as part of the AVCA rankings. They only trail the Texas Longhorns, and they're followed right by Wisconsin as the 3rd-ranked team, but there are 7 Big Ten teams listed in the preseason top 25. 5 more Husker volleyball matches have also been selected to be on TV. The newly announced games can be found on Huskers.com. Nebraska women's basketball season tickets are now available. Fans can purchase season ticket packages through the Nebraska Athletic Ticket Office or by visiting Huskers.com/tickets. Reserved season tickets are on sale for $198, while adult general admission season tickets are just $108. Alexis Markowski, Natalie Potts, and the rest of the crew will look to build off the success of 2024, where the Big Red went for 23 victories, including the upset win over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly coming right up here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Back to throw, play action look. Heiberg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Back to throw, throws downfield, taking a deep shot down the field, and the ball's intercepted. Picked off by Tommy Hill. Has an INT. He's at the 15 to the 20. Breaks a tackle, skirts to the outside. 25, makes another man miss. Slides his way to the 28-yard line. Tommy Hill's second pick in as many weeks. Shot blocked back and covered. Above the net shot, Merritt Beeson kill. Wow. Couple of Huskers had to punch it off the net, and Beeson swings away. They love it in Lincoln. It's 29-10. Heinrich going to step back. Little G belly action. Has a man wide open. It's Jalen Lloyd. The throw, he makes a catch. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Sullivan gets the chest high snap. Stepping up, being pressured, gets hit, and goes down. Huskers get their first sack of the game. Northwestern has given up the most sacks of any team in the conference. The Huskers get one there from Nash. Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Matt Coatney on the Huskers Radio Network.
So good to have Coat with us here tonight. He was did the show solo a couple nights ago. We brought him in today. Jess feeling a little under the weather. I think she might be back tomorrow. If not, she'll definitely be back on Wednesday. And speaking of being back, Jake, it's great to have you back. Jake's one of our student interns. Took a little time off in the summer. I think you went and did some baseball around the country. Is that right, Jake? Tell me what your summer was.
Yeah, I was up in the state of Washington, not in D.C. Big difference there, but it was fun calling a little bit of summer collegiate baseball play-by-play. Got to see part of the nation that I've never been to. A lot of sights up there for sure.
The Pacific Northwest. Well, it's good to have you back, you and Camden and Henry and David, and we love all of our guys that help us out. So good to hear you back on with us here tonight. Great job on the ticker here tonight. Coach, here we go. We're not that far off. One more weekend, and then we're kicking this thing off with UTEP. And I know before we jump into some other talk about some volleyball later on in the hour, I know we got some people that want to talk to us tonight.
You know, you can't have me on this show without taking calls, right? That's what I do, right? And we've had people who have been lined up here for a bit. Let's just get right into it at 402-413-2400. Let's start off. Let me see here at Tom in Hayes, Kansas. And Tom, you're on Sports Nightly. Go ahead.
Well, I'm glad that was the intro to it because it's a little intimidating there, Coach.
What was intimidating?
I tried to call in last Thursday night when you were on because when I hear your voice, it just reminds me of, all of the nights that you got me through after a tough Huskers loss on Big Red Reaction.
You just made my whole preseason here, Tom. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well, and now you're sitting there with Greg Sharpe, so I'm basically talking to the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of Husker Radio, and I don't know how to make this call really any better except for I do want you guys to do me a favor from now to the first game. I don't want to hear anything that starts with a T other than Tom Welch, Tommy Hill, Tommy Armstrong, Tommy Frazier. I don't want to hear turnover one more time.
Well,
it's something you guys got to do for me.
Can I say Turner Corcoran?
Oh no!
I just want to see what I can say here, Tom.
You can say Turner Corcoran. He's going to be our starting left tackle.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we can say that, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Greg, I'm sorry, Matt, but I got to shout out a little bit to Greg. I tried to call in last week again when it was earlier in the week, but a big shout. You read my text. A big shout out. I want this to go over the radio about Coach Will Bolt, his extension. And I got to spend a whole weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska. I got to stay at the Graduate, and I took my son to the prospect camp. And the way those guys treated those kids and took us on a tour of the facility was top-notch. And everything that man is baseball. And if anybody has a problem, seriously, with him getting an extension is out of their mind. This guy is baseball. I mean, you look at him, he breathes it, he loves it, and he is everything that you want your kid to be around. And not only that, all the players that helped out, it was just an amazing event. So,
he bleeds Nebraska, right, Tom? I mean, he played here. He was an assistant coach here. He's the head coach here. He's won a conference championship. He's won a tournament title. I mean, I don't know what else the guy could do. I mean, I know our fans are pining for the days of getting to Omaha and super regionals, and I think that's going to come. It may not come as much as it did in the early 2000s, but he fits here perfectly in my mind.
Absolutely, Greg. And it is going to come. The talent, I mean, there were kids coming from everywhere to come and show off their skills for this guy. And I'm not talking just about Kansas kids and Oklahoma kids or, North Dakota kids. They were coming from everywhere. And that says something to me. I mean, they love how this program's run. They love how this administrator, I guess that's political, I guess. But, the people that are in charge, it's really nice to see how much they put into this. And these kids want to be part of that. They get to see Spencer Schwellenbach, Matt Waldron, Cade Povich, and those guys in the major leagues. I mean, heck, in a 2-week period, they pitched against each other, and they know Coach Bolt is on the right path, and Rob Childress, everything. It's just an amazing thing. And I know we want to talk about football, but I have to be the baseball guy, and I get to talk to Coach, who is one of my favorites ever, and of course Greg. I'm sorry, Coach. Greg is the godfather, but it is just an honor and love hearing you guys on the radio together. I mean, I'm so fired up right now, I can't even sit in my car. But thank you for taking my call, guys.
Call back anytime.
Go Big Red.
Wow, go Big Red. Greg, wow. I got to come back on this show more often. I mean, goodness.
Well, he's got a long drive home after football games, and you take him probably most of the way back to Hays, Kansas with Big Red Reaction. You do that with so many of our fans, and I think you know that, but it's going to be that you get reminded of that too, because they are with you to the bitter end every week.
I talk to so many, and you know, I'm lucky in that I get around the state quite often, and you talk to people in Thedford and Gearing. I was out in Chadron this week, and to hear how important, you know, driving out of Memorial Stadium, that drive home is to people. I know how important it is. I know I'm lucky to do it. And, God, what a great phone call there. Tom, we appreciate it. Hey, the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400 is our number if you'd like to be on the show. And our text line, we're going to go back down to Kansas. And let's visit with John. John, you're on Sports Nightly.
Greg and Matt, how are you?
We're doing good, John. How are you tonight?
I'm great. I'm not so much in Salina anymore. I'm moving to Omaha.
Oh, sweet. Welcome back.
40 years. Been 40 years. So, wanted just to visit about, I appreciate your guys' show. I like to listen as often as I can. Matt, love having you on as well. Greg, looking forward to great football season called by you.
You bet.
One thing that Coach Rhule talked about, he was always kind of mentioning how this first Husker team he had, now they compared with some of his first teams at, Baylor and Temple, and kind of thought they were far ahead. A question I would be interested to see if Coach Rhule would answer would be, how does he think this team that he's about ready to put out there on the field would compare to his best Baylor team? That would be a question. Curious if he would answer that.
I may throw that at him Wednesday night. He's going to be in studio for an hour. I may try to couch that in a way that I can get an answer out of him. But you're right. That'd be interesting to know. Does he feel like this team is on par to that Baylor team that he took to, I think, a Sugar Bowl is where they ended up playing postseason?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting what Greg said. Will he get an answer? Try to couch an answer out of him. You know, the thing about Matt Rhule is he always has a message in everything he says. And I am wondering, Sharpie, if he would say, I don't want to give an answer about, I don't want to give a ceiling for what this team can do because then that would limit him or something along those lines. Right. I'll be very interested to see if you find a way of asking that question to see if he I would be surprised if he compares his team to that Baylor team. I'd be very surprised.
I don't think he'd probably want to do that. I think you're right, but there's a way I can slip it in there where it kind of comes out. We'll see.
John, we appreciate the phone call. Thank you. Good luck in moving back to Omaha. It makes no difference if it's been 40 years or 4 days. We love having you back here, John, on our hotline at 402-413-2400. We have a text, Greg. Cash from Norfolk says, how much playing time will Carter Nelson get this year? And not surprised that Cash from the northern part of Nebraska asking about Carter Nelson from Ainsworth. So how much playing time will he get this year? It's an interesting question because we've heard a lot about him here in the offseason.
I think he factors into their game plans. I don't think they think he'll be redshirting. And you can play up to 4 games in a redshirt. Maybe that happens. But they've been thrilled with Carter. And I think he's such a big-time talent. I think they believe he can be a matchup problem for the other teams because he's a bigger guy, but playing wide receiver. He's a guy I think they could find in the red zone with his leaping ability, his athletic ability that he has. So, Cash, I think he's going to play quite a bit. And I would be surprised, at this point, I'd be surprised if he redshirts.
And because of his athleticism, but being a true freshman, there might be specific packages for him. Don't you think maybe with the struggles that Nebraska's had getting into the end zone when they've been in the red zone, when they've been inside the 20, that maybe they've got some specials that his athleticism really, where he could, kind of post up somebody, where you kind of have Fedoni in a cross situation, you put You put Carter Nelson out there, and I don't know. I just think there's a lot of possibilities you could do. And I don't know if you need to limit the playbook for him, but I just think there's some special things you could do with him in specific situations. That's why I think he may not be a candidate for a red shirt. But aren't these great things to talk about? I mean,
love it.
And I think, I think that's what I was kind of talking about in the first hour. People like Vince Genatone from North Platte. I think there are enough local products from Nebraska here. And not just Omaha, not just from Lincoln, not just from Kearney, but from some non-traditional places like North Platte, like in Ainsworth, that I think Husker fans are maybe pull maybe even just a little bit more for those local products. And I think Carter Nelson is right at the top of that list.
Completely agree. All right. Thanks for the phone calls, guys. Keep them coming. 402-413-2400. When we come back, John Cook met with the media just a couple of hours ago. We're going to go back and listen to some of his comments as they get close to their red-white scrimmage and only 8 days from their opening game when they'll travel to Louisville to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. We're back with some comments from the head volleyball coach. We'll do that next.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of this special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Discover a better car buying experience at Woodhouse Nissan. With 2 convenient locations in Bellevue and Omaha off 144th and Giles Road, Woodhouse Nissan is your destination for your next sedan or SUV. Lease the 2024 Nissan Rogue SV Premium for just $399 with $0 down. 36 months, 5,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, license extra, first payment, and $299 doc fee due at signing. Discounted price based on a sale price of $34,846. VIN number RC709841. Offer expires August 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Jeb Brandt in Hastings or Collie Schilke in Imperial today.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We're back, Sports on a Monday night. Greg Sharpe, delighted to be joined by Matt Coatney tonight. Jessica's got the night off, and so we hope to get her back tomorrow night on the men's. John Cook met with the media earlier today. In fact, his first radio show, again, Thursday night at 6 o'clock. John Bader will be here to host that hour. But we had a couple questions in the chat about captains for football and volleyball. Matt Rhule likes to go week to week with his captains, but John Cook does pick captains prior to the year. Last year it was Merritt Beeson and Lexi Rodriguez. So question out of the gate for Coach Cook in his press conference was, what about this year's captains?
Any changes to your captains from last year?
No, Merritt and Lexi are captains.
What do you need them to be good at, considering a lot of the same people, but some new people? What do you need them to be good at to manage the team this year?
Just do what they've been doing. They take care of the team. They take care of each other. They're great communicators with the coaching staff. They let us know what they need. They worked with Jordan back. Jordan is a captain of the USA team, or I don't know if she was this year, but she has been. But she's their leader, and so she's already started work. They started working with her with stuff. And again, you know, the leaders are setting the direction where we want to go, creating the vision, getting everybody to follow, and keep everybody to stay on task. And those two have, over the last 8 months, 9 months, they've been seasoned because there's been a lot of challenges, and you know we've been working on our culture, and so they've gotten some great experience. So they're awesome captains.
Greg, I love this because you have the same two captains, so there is continuity, there's culture, and I can't imagine a situation in which Lexi Rodriguez would not be a captain of this team after everything she's done. You know, during the Olympics, and everybody talked about Justine Juan Orantes and how much Lexi Rodriguez fits into that role and how she probably has a great chance of playing that role on the Olympic team. And then think about Merritt Beeson as a captain now multiple years into the program. I just think the continuity of having those two as captains really says a lot about the culture. And I think if you made a change right now, then I think there'd be more questions than anything. But Nebraska went just one match away from winning a national championship. Why fix what really isn't broken, in my opinion?
Without a senior. That's what was remarkable about that team last year. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all those same two got it this year. Even though the entire team is back, minus some people that left through the transfer portal, Nebraska did add Taylor Landfair, the player of the year in the Big Ten, a couple of years ago from Minnesota. The Huskers, as Jake told us in the ticker at the top of the hour, ranked number 2 in the preseason poll behind Texas, who won it all last year. The coach was asked, do the players pay much attention to the polls?
No. I don't even know if they know. They probably can tell you what TikToks were on today, but they probably don't even know that. So we don't even talk about that. If you just saw us play Saturday, we're not even maybe top 50 team. So but they came in and they had a hell of a practice today because they got lit into Saturday. I actually asked Susan over there in football who dropped more F-bombs, Matt or me, on Saturday. You guys were watching football. Oh, you guys didn't get to watch football. Okay, I was watching football Saturday.
What caused the F-bombs?
We were not focused. We didn't play well. We just didn't execute. We were undisciplined. So those are the things that I don't ever do F-bombs. Well, there's one in the documentary you'll hear, but Becca does way more than I do. But no, they just we didn't perform, and we made it a really big game day, and I think they were nervous, and because we made it like a game day, we had uniforms on, and I just think they were nervous. I mean, there's a lot of pressure right now who's going to play and where they're playing, and they're competing really hard. But it's good we got through it, because I think that'll, every year you go through the nervous part. Red White will be a super nervous night, but we got to get through that. So by the time we get to Kentucky, we've got all that out of our system.
You want to talk about a guy who was a quote machine. I mean, how many quotes in there? I mean, we could spend the rest of this entire half hour talking about what he said there. They don't care. They probably don't even look at it. They know what the TikToks who came out today. He is such a coach this time of year. You're talking about the number 2 team in the country, everybody back pretty much, and they're unfocused, and we're number 50 team in the country. I love John Cook, Craig. I mean, that is right where you expect a coach, whether it be football or volleyball this time of year, to kind of talk about his team, don't you?
Sets the bar pretty high, doesn't he? And that's why that program is where they are in the stratosphere of college volleyball. So love it there. A lot of our fans always kind of go, okay, who's the most improved player, maybe in preseason or during the season as it gets going? Coach Cook got asked that today. Who's his most improved player as he looks at this roster?
Maisie Bosinger. Maisie Bosinger is made leaps and bounds as a player. Her stats are great. She's doing an awesome job, and I'm not kidding you guys. I mean, I think our 2 freshmen are right at the level of everybody else. Sometimes by this time they're having a hard time keeping up, but those 2 have done a really, really good job.
Well, Maisie is a fan favorite, no question about it. And I'll say this: that's a great quote from John Cook. I think he might be sending a message to the rest of his team, all the top Big Ten players, that you get somebody who didn't get any preseason notice, that that's the player he's talking about here in his press conference. And she's wonderful. She's a fan favorite, and I'm glad to see her get some pub from the coach there.
Love it. She comes in sometimes as a serving specialist, and I think she could play that role again maybe for this team this year. He briefly mentioned the transfer led by Taylor Landfair, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher. He was asked about how have those transfers acclimated to the Husker program.
Those 2, they're still in a learning curve right now. I don't think the pace we train at, the drills we're doing, I mean, they're still learning our drills, and now I think they're getting them down, but one of them made a comment the other day, like, what drill's that? Because we call our drills out and go. So they're still learning the drills, trying to figure those things out, but they're both have a chance to play this year. I mean, they're in a chance to start, so they're right there, but I think there's a learning thing there, and you see some of the time they're trying to figure something out. You can see their minds are moving, and we're trying to fine-tune both of them to how we train, and with footwork and different things. And so they're in a kind of a learning progression here. Like, Krause's heard it for 3 years, so she knows what we're trying to do. Those guys might be hearing it, this is really the first 2 weeks that they've heard it. So there's a learning progression with them, but they're very talented, experienced players.
I mentioned Taylor Landfair. The other transfer is Layla Blackwell, the middle blocker from San Diego, who's the second transfer player on the Husker roster. All right, red-white scrimmage Saturday night at the Devaney Center. The coach was asked, what are you going to get out of that, and can that help you narrow your rotation for the Kentucky match then on Tuesday?
That's a good question. The red-white always, it tells us a lot sometimes, and I haven't still decided how we're going to do it. If we're going to make 2 even teams, we're going to have an A side, B side. I just haven't decided yet. I'm just kind of, we've had 2 really good scrimmages that we have some stats on and how they did, and again they were different teams. So I haven't got there yet. It's Monday.
It's always a great chance to get out and kind of see the spotlight, feel the fans, because it'll be a packed house. And so that, for particularly the new players to the program, it'll be a little different out-of-body experience for them as they run out there for the first time. So Red White Scrimmage, we will have it right here on the HRN. John Bader, Lauren Cook-West with the call on Saturday night. Coach, a women's basketball question for you before we go to the break. Denny in Omaha wants to know if you've had a chance to go watch some practice at all this summer.
I have not, actually, for various reasons. I'll tell you why. Generally in the summer, there's a lot of drills, not necessarily what I would call things that help me understand rotations, because I'm going to be with the team so much once we get into about October. And what I'm looking for is, in August, I'm not necessarily sure the role that a Jessica Petrie is playing now in a practice is going to be the role she's going to be playing in November. Plus, we've got so many people back that I know that group pretty well. So, and plus, I'm pretty busy. Just being completely honest with you. But once we get to middle of October, then I usually go to about 6 or 7 practices before that first exhibition game against Doane. So, Denny, I think if I had time, I'd probably go to about every practice. I would. I remember when my kids were preteen, they used to go to a lot of practices, and they ate that stuff up, and it's some of my favorite memories. But trust me, I hear enough about what's going on. I have a pretty good idea what's going on over there, but I've not made it over there yet.
Good stuff. Plenty of time left before we get that one tipped off. All right, need to take a break. When we come back, Jessica had a chance late last week to talk to Akrs Bullock, the wide receiver for the Cornhuskers from Omaha. We'll have that conversation for you next.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan. Townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan.
Insurance that fits just right.
See shelter agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly on a Monday night. I'm Matt Coatney, sitting in for Jessica Coody just for tonight. Greg Sharpe is with me. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Well, our own Jessica Coody, as I mentioned, not here tonight, but she had a chance to catch up with the junior wide receiver from Omaha, graduate of Creighton Prep, Akrs Bullock, third on the team in pass receptions last year. And here's that interview that Jess had with Akrs.
Here with Akrs Bullock. Well, we were just chatting. How do you feel like this camp has gone for you this time around?
It's been well. This camp, just having that extra year under my belt, everything I know, the expectations of each practice and what I need to get better at. So, each practice trying to improve on something. We call it deliberate practice, a specific thing that you need to get better at. And I feel like I know how to do that this year better. So,
is it something different every single day, or can it be the same thing multiple days?
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be something, if you can't get something down, you try to come back to next practice. But if you see something on film where you're not doing it great, you want to come out the next practice and work on that. And then you watch that film and see something else, and, it just keeps going over and over.
What's it like diving into film with Garrett McGuire?
He's an offensive guru. I know. He knows what the O-line's doing, the tight end, receiver, quarterback, running back. He's just got such a great mind, and he's so great at teaching, other positions like what their job is on this play, so that we know why that play works and what we need to do on that play to make the play happen. So.
You've been just such a steady Eddie, just a consistent presence for this offense and during camp for whatever quarterback. You've had multiple quarterbacks thrown to you. What has gone into that for you to be able to be that guy for this program?
I just, coming to work every day, because you never know what's going to happen, what changes. So just coming in every day, being the same guy, just trying to work, same work ethic every day. The coaches notice that. And, the offense needs somebody. We got a lot of guys that do it, but just someone that comes in and does their job every day. If they need to make this play, they make it. So all that type of stuff.
We've talked to several guys in this offense over the last few weeks, and they seem to be really excited. They light up when I ask them about just their excitement for this offense and what the potential is. So what's your level of excitement for what this offense could do this season?
This offense in general, just from what I've seen from spring ball through summer, now fall camp, I think we got a lot of weapons that can, we can run by you, we can run the ball, we can do just about anything we want. And just the receiving core-wise, I've never been as part of a room that's this deep. So I'm kind of excited what we're going to be able to show August 31st.
How has it been, too, just figuring out, hey, there's a lot of guys that can make plays for this offense and just running different guys out there? I'm sure Coach Satterfield's had a good time with working with you guys.
Yeah. No, I feel like it makes the coach's job so easy when you have so many guys that can do certain things. You want this play, you want this guy because he does that well. Next play, you have a certain set of people that do it so well. So with so many weapons, you're unlimited of what you can do on offense.
I know turnovers have been a big emphasis for this offense. How has it progressed? How do you guys feel about where you are at in that category right now throughout fall camp?
I think we've done well. We always put an emphasis on not turning the ball over, especially this camp. But we've gone through why, like certain situations, like last year, when we turn the ball over, how that changes the game and what part of the game. But just we've emphasized so much about turning the ball over and how much it can change a game, just literally just by the turnover battle. Even if you do other stuff well, if you lose the turnover battle, it's not great.
Just being in year 2 with Coach Rhule and this coaching staff, how much, I guess, more confident do you guys feel just in everything and knowing what is expected of you guys?
That's a big part, is we now know what to expect from a practice perspective, a game perspective. We all know our jobs better than we did last year, what this coaching staff expects, and now they want us to demand that standard that they hold. And I think our guys are doing a great job of demanding that standard as well.
Okay, got to ask you about your perspective on your brother, John. Every defensive player said that he's really stepped into the leadership role that Luke and Nick had over the previous years. What's been your perspective on that and the role that he's taken on for the defense?
Yeah, my brother never really has been the most vocal guy, but this year I've seen him step up because he realizes that this defense, they need those older guys to step up and be vocal. So I've seen him step into that role where he's been not just a lead by example guy where he has been in the past, but he's been a very vocal leader as well.
How do you feel about the defense? I know you guys battle it out, but are they going to be even better than they were a year ago?
I think so. I think all those guys coming back, all of them have improved from the secondary to the linebackers to the D-line. They get after it, so it's always fun battling them because, they get after it.
How about those young defensive backs? How is it matching up with them?
It's good. I think Coach Butler and then some of those older guys like Isaac Gifford, Tommy Hill, Marquise Buford, all of them, they do a great job at teaching those young guys on how to read certain things, leverage-wise, all those type of things. So I think they've done a great job at teaching those young guys.
All right, last thing, what are the steps now that this offense sees it take, throughout the remainder of these couple of weeks before you hit game week?
Just cleaning up little procedure things, alignment, assignment, all that type of stuff, and turning the ball over is our big emphasis, just keeping that ball, not turning it over. Just those little things, we got a scrimmage tomorrow. We just want to see those little things improved, and yeah.
Great stuff as always. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, what a fun interview there. Fun guy to listen to, and he and his brother, both walk-ons in the program, have certainly made their impact felt. I love those kind of stories, those Nebraska kids that stay home, play for the Big Red, and then end up having a big impact.
And you take a look at Alex, I think he has a chance to become a favorite target of Dylan Rhule. We had a question on our text line, over under 63% completion percentage for next season for Dylan, and boy, I'd take that for a true freshman every time, and I think that Alex would be a huge part of that. Last year he was third on the team in receptions, so you have to think he has a chance to do at least that, if not better. If he can be somebody in that mid-range for Nebraska, and then some of the other burners who can go down and really get the ball down the field, then you really like the chances of a high completion percentage, whether it's for Dylan or for Danny or for Heinrich here. I just think Alex is such a key part of that receiving core. We talked earlier in the show about the running backs, but, Nebraska's pretty deep at receiver, but not only deep, but a person like Alex Bullock brings experience and a lot of different things that they can do, but I think he would be key in being a good possession receiver for this team.
That 63% over-under is beautiful. And that's what you want in a good over-under, that you really have to think about it. And I think he might be spot on. That's kind of where I'm thinking it might end up being, and I'm with you. If we're that or better, sign me up right now. I would take that with young quarterbacks to have a 63% or better completion percentage for me. To me, the other thing is cutting down the picks. Can't throw many interceptions. If you don't complete as many passes, that's fine as you're not completing them to the other team, giving them the ball.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We were talking about turnovers and taking the ball away defensively. I think the defense can actually be better this year, even though it might not show it statistically, because they won't have to be on the field as much if the offense can possess the ball and not turn it over. And if Dylan Rhule is the one taking the majority of the snaps, if you're possessing the ball and you're moving the chains, and then the defense has to respect those receivers, then that helps your offensive line for the running backs that we have. I mean, one thing begets another in here. I still think 63% from my standpoint he's still a freshman. I don't care. I don't care how good he is. 63%. If we had that, man, sign me up now for, I don't know, a lot of wins is what I would say.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say how many.
Absolutely. All right, need to step aside, get our final break in. We got a full house in there tonight, so we got a lot of people to get their weekend winners from. So we'll do that coming up next.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings, very possible. Playoffs, highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Elevate your drive with Woodhouse Buick. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Save up to $3,149 off MSRP on the 2024 Buick Encore GX Sport Touring all-wheel drive. With approved credit, must finance with GM Financial, must have 2010 or newer trade-in to qualify. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/3/2024. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to our final segment tonight on Sports Nightly. Matt Coatney with you, and the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Now, Greg, I never get a chance to play weekend winners, and so when I got a chance to come in here today, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this, so I'm pretty excited about this, so get us into it here.
Well, lead us off. Give us yours first. We'll let you have the honors tonight.
Okay, well, I am not a big fan of fake football, which is what I call the NFL preseason, because you look out there and you look at Caleb Williams throwing the ball all over the place, and you're like, oh, well, this guy's great. And then you don't know if he's going up against the number 4 Cincinnati secondary or who's out there. But there's one thing I can tell you about a preseason NFL game. There's nothing fake about a 66-yard field goal. And that's what Brandon Obrey did for the Dallas Cowboys at the end of the first half in Las Vegas against the Raiders. If it would have been in the regular season, it would have tied the NFL record that Justin Tucker had many years ago. So he's my weekend winner. There were a couple of reasons to watch preseason NFL this weekend. Usually it's absolutely forgettable. It's something to watch on TV, certainly, but man, that was a big one. That was a cannon shot. So he's my weekend winner.
That is a long kick. Good stuff there. All right, Camden or Jake, I'm not sure who's going to go first. One of you guys jump in there.
Yeah, I guess almost piggybacking off you, Matt, with kicking a ball. I'm going to go to Husker soccer with Sarah Weber, her first hat trick in what's been an incredible start for her this season. It was kind of a question mark where Nebraska soccer would go after Eleanor Dale departs, and I feel like that performance from Sarah Weber is kind of a bright spot and maybe a look at the future at what this Husker soccer team really needs from her.
And the third one was very important because Huskers were up 2-0, and then Colorado State came back, tied it, and then it's kind of drippy conditions out there also. So they needed all three of those goals to win it 3-2. Yeah.
Good stuff. Mr. Camden, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so Jake mentioned this in his ticker, but I'm going to go with Sarah's teammate Sadie Waite. She was selected to the Canadian Women's Under-20 roster and then ended up making the team today. So she's going down to Columbia and will take part in that. And their first game is August 31st, so I imagine she'll miss a couple weeks for this tournament, but a big professional opportunity for her.
Okay, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Nothing like playing for your home country, so that's awesome for her, and we wish her nothing but the best. Well, Friday, my week winner was Niles Paul for getting his diploma and degree, coming back to school. He'd been out for over 10 years, but got that degree. I thought that was so important. A tip of the cap to Teddy Prohaska, who's had a really rough month, but he caps off August by getting his diploma, so kudos to him. But my weekly winner, and I'm going to the world of golf, Hideki Matsuyama won the FedEx Cup tournament in Memphis over the weekend. Early this last week, he was in London eating with like his entourage of people, and they look up and a bunch of his stuff had gotten stolen, his clubs, his passport, a bunch of the stuff. So the guys he was traveling with couldn't come to Memphis with him, including his caddy. He got a quick call to the consulate and got waived to come on over. So he came over, had to use a different caddy, find some different clubs, and he goes out and wins the FedEx tournament over the weekend. That's remarkable. And the thing I love about it, Coach, he got asked afterwards, how are you going to celebrate? He goes, I think I'll just go to Chick-fil-A. How about that? That's how he's going to go celebrate a big golf win.
Well, so what that tells me is the next time I stink on the golf course, which is often, maybe I should go just get a loaner pair of clubs I've never had before and go see if I can win a tournament. I mean, can you imagine winning a major PGA event not with your regular clubs and after going through that whole thing?
And not your caddy. So you have somebody else kind of in your ear helping you read putts or whatever Hideki has those guys do to overcome all that. And you knew he was playing well, as he played pretty well in the Olympics a few weeks ago in Paris. So you knew he was playing well. But then he goes out, he beats Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele and beats that really good field in Memphis over the week. I like Hideki. He won the Masters a few years ago. It seems like a pretty quality guy. I think he's pretty well liked on tour as well. But that's just a remarkable thing. And then to top it off, when he says that about Chick-fil-A, I'm like, boom, there he is. He's my weekend winner.
Well,
I love that.
The fry sauce, especially. I mean, here, let me ask you this. Is this going to be like he has a new caddy permanently now? I mean,
I don't
is the other guy Wally
how soon this
out of
other
there
caddy
now?
can get processed and back over here. I don't know how long a process that is. I don't know.
I mean, did he get Wally pipped? Lou Gehrig comes in and starts 2,000 games. I'm sorry, I won this tournament with a new caddy. See ya. Go get you some Chick-fil-A and thanks for everything. I'm going to use my new clubs and my new caddy. And what a great story. That
you're going to have to explain who Wally Pipp is to Jake and Camden. Probably a lost reference for you, so you can do that. Coach, we appreciate it. Last minute, you got the phone call. You came in and helped us Saturday night. I know you got a busy week. You're heading out to the central part of the state tomorrow. Thanks again, and travel safe tomorrow.
Hey, thank you. I'm happy to be in here and looking forward. 11 days from now, we're going to get it done.
Oh, love it. Good stuff. Matt Coody with us here tonight on Sports Night. Thanks to both Jake and Camden for punching the show. Great to have Jake back from his summer vacation. Thanks to all of you for listening tonight. Enjoy your night. We're back with a full show tomorrow night, including a practice report with clips from Ed Foley, special teams coordinator. That's tomorrow night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less